Welcome to Fate's Forge, a D&D podcast. You're listening to Van Richten's Guide to A Curse of Strahd.
Welcome to Fate's Forge. This is our podcast.
Woohoo! Yeah.
So, we're just a bunch of blokes that love gaming, and I love technology and sharing my experience. So, I thought it would be fun to share our experience with everyone and all of you out there. The way of introduction, my name is Andy Paulus. I'm with Andy Vlogs. I'm also with All Games Played and now Fate's Forge. Those are all things you can look up on the internets, and will all be in the links in the description. And this is our podcast that we're doing. I think I've been planning for this for a while. Mel and I have been, kicking around the idea. We pitched it to Jared and Katie, and they liked it. And Jeremiah, we added you as well, and this is awesome. We have one more that will be joining us, but for personal reasons, he'll be joining us in a few episodes. But with that said, today we're going to be going over Von Richten's Guide to the Curse of Strahd. Now, Curse of Strahd is one of the longest running, memes of D&D. I mean, the makers love it. And they just came out with a new resource, Von Richten's Guide to Ravenloft. And so this is going to be heavily influenced by that. So before we jump into introducing all of our player characters, our personalities, and people that hopefully you will come to love and enjoy listening to, I'm going to go over some of the differences, some of the rules, some of the mechanics, some of the things of this campaign. So we're obviously going to be playing 5th edition rule set. We're going to be incorporating all of the new resources like classes and even UA and even races and all that stuff that is active at the time of this recording. But we're going to be adding a few new rules here. So before I get into that, I do want to mention that we are going to be releasing this podcast every Thursday night. Probably 10 p.m. Eastern. That way it'll hit Friday, syndicate, and it'll be there for the weekend. So you'll be listening to this October 1st, and weekly we'll be releasing this full entire campaign in chunks. So hopefully we'll have at least 12 episodes of the series. Not the entire campaign, but we're trying to hit at least 3 times we meet together before the holidays. And if we can meet together, maybe we'll have a one-shot holiday thing. From maybe someone in this group.
Christmas and Ravenloft.
Maybe. So you're not just listening to my dumb face and voice. With that said, I do have another sister series where I'm going over D&D essentials. There's a couple episodes out already. Go check that out. How to set up a character, how to be a DM, how to get into D&D. I break it down all for you, and some of our friends here are guests on that. With that said, please make sure that you follow, subscribe, do all that good stuff, share it with your friends. I'm really excited. So let's go ahead and talk about now the campaign. So this is going to be all about Curse of Strahd. As you know, it's a gothic horror D&D campaign. So there's going to be some scary stuff. Hopefully it's not too scary. But mainly we're going to be following along, the module within Curse of Strahd. Within Von Richten's Guide to Ravenloft, however, there's a bunch of new domains that fall in the whole realm of Ravenloft. It's not just Barovia, believe it or not. So we might see new domains. We might just witness them.
Domains of dread?
Oh, maybe. No, domains of happiness.
That sounds much safer.
That's right.
Only good things.
Rainbows.
Only
Domains of
sunshine.
rainbows, exactly.
And puppy dogs. And rivers full of chocolate. And children laughing and playing.
Oh boy.
Don't trust any of those. They're just
No.
skeletons. So with that said, I'm going to be taking a lot of new content that was introduced in Von Richten's resource. So there's going to be additional domains of dread that are going to be introduced. There's going to be new NPCs, new bad guys, and bosses. With that, inside of the resource, there are a few new things that help our characters along the way and to help the ambiance. So, for instance, they added a new kind of a background thing where you can obtain a dark gift. And I've encouraged all of our players here to use one, whether it's going to be role-played or whether it's just, for practicality, utility in battle. Hopefully they have chosen those. And, in a minute here, we'll introduce each one of our characters. Our player characters might actually get additional gifts throughout the domain that might replace said chosen gifts, depending on what happens. You can see their reaction. It's silent. Dead silent, because
I like what I chose.
I might be lying. I might have led them on a little bit. In addition to that, there are lineages, which are they're kind of like variant races: the Damphir, the Hexblood, and Reborn. And maybe some of our characters might obtain a lineage, have something manifest without them knowing. Maybe. Dun dun dun. You never know with the Gothic horror campaign. In addition, there is some new backgrounds. I believe Mel's character has one of the newer backgrounds, and he'll go over that. There are factions, there are cults, and there are different religious sects that don't believe in good deities, but maybe evil deities that you might run into that want to kill you. So you'll come to learn about those. There might be some factions that are purely evil, but as they say, the enemy of your enemy might be your friend.
Sure.
So with that said, we're going to be adding a few new rules. There is a section about fear and stress. Jared and I both love Darkest Dungeon, and they incorporate stress in the game, which heavily influences the outcome of the game, and
it adds a new dimension to the adventure.
But in here, because you're only one character, getting stress is bad. And a few things about stress. So fear basically leads to stress. Stress leads to negative modifiers. And then accumulative stress will lead to exhaustion. So exhaustion will be a part of the game. But yeah, each character I've asked to set aside an area on the character sheet to manage fear. So in certain instances, you will have, if you run away from a fight that's dreadful, you meet, an end boss, you may gain, certain fear, levels of fear, and there's 0 through 10. And then once you hit 10, and this is kind of homebrew, you will receive a stress point. And that stress point will add a -1 or a negative point modifier to all rolls until said stress is gone or relieved. And there's ways that you can do that. The mist is going to be a huge part of this. So I've decided to focus on domains that relate to the mists, and you guys will come to know intimately what the outcome of interacting with the mists is. With that said, I do want to ask my players, because a lot of this is new. A lot of these things I just announced, they don't know. Do you have any questions? Any comments?
No, it sounds great, Dungeon Master.
Alrighty, so before we introduce your characters, we're going to get into the mood here. So, let's get your guys' little player characters, and let's position them here on the map, where you would find yourself on the map.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
I like that base.
I'm all about it.
You're all about that base?
All about that base, baby. Oh boy.
I got you.
Okay, so in typical D&D fashion, there are, I guess in gaming, there are tutorial areas. So this is going to be the non-combat tutorial area. So you guys find yourself here in an area where this is. What do you guys do?
Oh, we don't introduce ourselves yet?
Not yet.
All right, I'm going to make a perception check.
Okay, perception check. Here we go. Perfect. Well, actually, roll a perception check.
Okay. I got a 19.
Excellent.
Hey. All right.
If you would get as close as you can to the mic.
Crackling in harmony with the droning sounds of cicadas, you find yourself gazing in awe at the sunset before you. You can see the last rays of sunlight through the leaves and branches of the densely filled forest of the Neverwinter Woods. Rolling nimbus clouds fill the sun's set sky as you hear the bubbling of stew from the cauldron hanging from its half-circle iron handle that connects on each side of it over the fire. The sunset vista of the Sword Coast is truly an amazing sight to see.
Does anyone else want to use some of their skills to do something?
I will make an Arcana check to see how I may have arrived here, given that I've spent the entirety of my existence
Perfect.
in the peaceable kingdoms of Arcadia. I get 16.
This is a intelligence check, but that's fine. I put history.
Oh, history. Oh, I have the same training in history. So
Perfect.
The largest city along the Sword Coast is the great harbor of Waterdeep. You found yourself at the offices of the Lord's Alliance because they needed the help of an adventurer brave enough to fight an evil that had festered up north in the lands near Neverwinter. 100 gold pieces per evildoer, ne'er-do-well, or hooligan purged from the area doesn't sound like a bad idea. That actually sounds amazing. With great risk comes great reward. You recall encountering three other adventurers who took the same call to action. Taking the route along the high road, you find yourself at this camp just on the outskirts of the Neverwinter Forest.
I would like to see if I can determine the intentions of the folks around me.
Sure.
Oh! Natural 20.
Yay!
First 20 of the
First
campaign.
20 of the campaign!
Good job, buddy.
Well, you make a successful check, intelligence and history. You recall the day before meeting in Waterdeep, which is a huge, harbor, one of the biggest cities along the Sword Coast, and you know that the Lord's Alliance is one of the factions within Waterdeep, and they're a more lawful faction that wants to get rid of evil within the land. And there was rumors of ne'er-do-wells or hooligans or robbers and bad people that were up north. So along the Sword Coast, there's a number of different towns, and there's a town called Neverwinter, and that's where you guys are headed. And before you is the Neverwinter Woods, hence the little opening of the little forest right there. So that's what would bring you here. And like this said, you remember seeing these three others. All four of you remember seeing these three others at that same call to action or request for help. I've got two more. Jeremiah.
I would like to check with Stu for traps.
All right.
I'm hungry.
Okay, who's Jeremiah? Which character are you?
That's me.
This one? No. This one? No. This
one by the fire.
The unpainted one.
Checking
right.
for traps. Let's see. This would be a
Investigation.
Investigation. That is good. 9.
9.
9.
That stew smells so good.
I tap his shoulder
okay.
and he gets a 12.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Very good. Guidance.
Yay.
He tapped.
Thank you for guiding me. The campsite appears to be a common resting place for adventurers before they trek into the Neverwoods. The enchanting aroma of the lightly spiced Connie stew and potatoes positioned above the fire can be smelled even all the way down to Waterdeep from the path you took on the high road. Intertwined with the stew's aroma, the smell of sea salt and brine can be witnessed as the sound of crashing waves interrupts the droning insect sounds.
And why don't we have our ranger do a final survival check?
I was
See if you
actually about
notice.
to say that.
Perfect. If you notice anything where you're at.
I get a 16.
Very good. Katie, if you don't mind passing this little help aid Sunday school note. I take this from Jared. Credit all goes to Jared. I love this little process.
As the sun finally sets and the forest's shadows take shape, you can't help but be drawn to the stew simmering in its cauldron at the center of the fire. The woods are quiet tonight, and the air grows chill. Once you sit down, after you have served yourself the stew, barely visible tendrils of opaque fog start to creep and stretch throughout, first from the forest, then to the clearing in front of you as it rests like a blanket low all about. Your fire sputters as the low mist gathers around the edge of your camp, growing closer as the night wears on.
Thank you.
Just that last little bit of
Dang
this
it.
just
I have a couple of these. There we go. All right. Very good. So why don't we go ahead and introduce each other now that you guys are plopped down around the fire, eating your stew. Let's go ahead from left to right or right to left, Katie,
Okay.
and around the table.
all right.
Introduce your name, the character's name, and then we'll go from there.
Oh, okay. My name is Katie Miller, and my character is Rennewick of the Slate Clan. I am a gnome peace cleric. I've got the Haunted One background with the Echoing Soul Dark Gift. I'm a boulder gnome, specifically. Okay, yeah.
Cool. Rennewick.
Rennewick,
Rennewick. All right. Cool. All right. Next up.
All right. I am Mel Young, and I am playing Kieran Cheerblessed. He is a Tabaxi Ranger, and he has a dark gift of a symbiotic being.
You're just
Yeah.
a really plain character, huh? Just
Yeah.
typical.
Typical, your average,
Average kitty cat.
Ranger, no surprises at all. No.
All right, awesome. And I let me write down the character's name again.
Kieran Cheerblessed.
Kieran, how do you spell that?
Keeren.
Okay, Kieran. Cool. All right, Jeremiah.
Okay, I am Jeremiah Adams. My character is Cole Robotham. I have the criminal spy background because I am a rogue, and that is where rogues come from. And I have the Gathered Whispers dark gift. However, one thing about my character, for those listening or watching, is I believe I am a wizard. So I will be making wizard-like actions. But the rest of my party here at the table does not know that.
It's magic. Just not Arcana. A
I
distinct
believe
difference.
it's Arcana.
We're all very supportive of you.
What was your character's name again?
Cole Robotham.
Cole. Thank you.
Robotham.
Cole.
Spelled robot ham.
Robotham.
It's the
Perfect.
best thing.
All
You
right.
should be a Warforged then.
Oh
be,
my
but-
goodness.
Last but not least.
Okay, so my character is named Azamar Glow. There's a picture if you want to zoom in on it. And she is an Azamar
Okay.
from the Outer Planes. And she is searching for her one's true love, whom she believes is trapped in Ravenloft.
What a great girl.
She's delightful. And there's a picture of her in her homeland, right? And then here's a picture of her in Ravenloft. Which I did using the power of Photoshop.
Going the extra mile there, yeah.
What was that,
Excellent.
Katie?
Just going the extra mile there for your
Oh,
character
it's more than
sheets.
an extra mile. She has the Mistwalker dark background because she needed to walk through the mists to find her one's true love. Jared Bright Magic. See there?
Yes.
There they are. Will she find her one's true love in the tenebrous corners of this place? Or will ruin come to their family?
Well, time will tell.
I hope it's the good one.
Only time will tell. Okay, so after some
Oh,
talk,
and she's a 1-level cleric, arcana cleric, and then she will go genie warlock from level 2 on.
excellent. I actually didn't realize that. I thought you were going more cleric than warlock.
No, just
That's
1
great.
level cleric. So 1 level of arcana cleric gets you medium
That-
armor proficiency, shield proficiency, training in the arcana skill, and 5 cantrips
Oh,
and
boy.
healing spells.
Oh boy,
So I'm like, it'd be stupid not to do a 1 level different.
perfect. All right, great. Well, I'm sure you guys all have great plans for the future, and we'll see how far you get into my forest.
All right.
Just
Okay.
kidding.
All right. Let's go.
All right. So with that, after some talk, more from others, the once bubbling stew of filled cauldron visibly looks lighter as each of you helped yourself to the potpourri of Epicurean treasures before you. After finishing your meal, cleaning up and putting away your eating implements in your packs, at this point in time, you guys all are immediately succumb and overcome with sleep.
I feel tired.
I make my Constitution save versus plot contrivance. Oh, I fail.
Wait, what did you get? Yep, you failed.
Yeah.
Yep.
I will use this
And,
opportunity on D&D Beyond to take a long rest.
Yes. Very good. You get all of your stuff back that you used. So the following dream is played out in each of your minds, but you don't know that the other has dreamt the same dream. You find yourself in a crowd of people in the middle of a town. There isn't much to this town, but you notice a few domiciles with thatched roofs. Farmlands make up the majority of this area in this little town. Smoke billows from some of the chimneys, and light chatter fills your ears. Neighbors close and neighbors afar appear to be coalescing together in the middle of town. Merchants and travelers have even stopped to gather at the commotion coming from the well at the centermost part of the town square. A woman standing at the top of the well, clad in ringmail, appears to be giving a speech and calling to those around her to arms. It has been too long. We have suffered far enough. Their conquest took them to our humble country, and we let them take our castle Levence. We complied with all their wishes. I gave up the voice.
Now that you've set the tone, it's okay.
I shouldn't have. And let them set their new laws, and we agreed upon their exorbitant taxes and their encroachment on our property. But we should rise up and take arms against our common enemy and take back the castle Levence. A middle-aged man from the back, carrying a bag of turnips, set it down and calls out, "Yeah, they're even rigging the prices here so we can't even get a decent sale." The crowd jeers in agreement. The woman speaks up again. "We do this for Levence." The crowd responds, "Yes, for Levence." She repeats again once more, "For Levence," and you find yourself joining with a hand raised, "For Levence."
For the vets.
For Levence.
Levence.
That's
Laventz. Castle Levence. The morning breaks, and you awake with a stir, dazed at what you just dreamt. As all of you sit up and look around you, you find the thick fog hangs in the air, turning the trees around you into gray ghosts. As you play off the images of the night before, you pack up your bedroll, help extinguish the coals now nestled deep into the ashen pit of the once roaring fire, and put your things away. Interestingly enough, the stew is gone. And cauldron. You lift your packs to your back and you look up. Let's do a group perception check.
Oh man, I got a 26.
I got
Wow.
24.
Very good.
I got a 9.
Yes.
I got a 6.
Wow.
All right.
Good thing half your team passed. That's usually what I do with group roles. Half of your team, if you success, then you succeed. Glow and Renwick, both of you notice that you don't appear to be in the same forest or area anymore. This isn't
I think we've been transported.
Kansas
guys.
anymore.
Through
This
some
isn't the
fell
forest
craft.
we're looking for.
This isn't the forest we're looking for.
Is it weird that the cauldron is missing?
Yeah, that's definitely weird.
It's also weird that you notice in your packs a note. All of you wouldn't mind following along as maybe I won't turn it. This took me about an hour to edit.
Ruin has come to our family.
Yes.
You remember our venerable house? Opulent and imperial, gazing proudly from its stoic perch above the moor. I lived all my years in that ancient, rumor-shadowed manor, fattened by decadence and luxury. And yet I began to tire of conventional extravagance. Singular, unsettling tales suggested the mansion itself was a domain to some fabulous and unnameable power. With relic and ritual, I bent every effort towards the excavation and recovery of those long-buried secrets, exhausting what remained of our family fortune. At last, in the salt-soaked crags beneath the lowest foundations, we unearthed that damnable foolish entity, antediluvian evil. Our every step unsettled the ancient earth. But we were in a realm of death and madness. In the end, I alone fled this domain of the damned. Until consciousness failed me. You remember our venerable house, opulent and imperial. It is a festering abomination. I beg you, return home and deliver our family from the ravenous, clutching shadows of the darkest domain.
I had to.
Oh my gosh.
Perfect.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Nice.
I think it's fair use.
I put that in my backstory here. Ruin or will ruin come to their
Yes.
family.
I don't
want
want
that.
favorite games. Darkest Dungeon. I think they're pretty good. I should be able to be okay with that. I added a few words.
Sure.
Instead of gateway, I put domain.
Domain.
And then instead of what did it say? Like creature, I put entity. So, and it's funny. There's so many words that he said because he's done thousands of lines.
Sure.
I just googled the audio and I was able to splice it.
No,
perfect.
That's what I was
You did a
able
great
to
job
put it in.
splicing it.
Wow.
My favorite was it itself was a domain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was hard.
Seamless.
No,
You
that's
couldn't
just
even
great.
tell,
I wasn't being
I
teasing
appreciate
there.
it. No,
I
it was
just
meant
think
to be
it's
silly
funny.
like that.
Yeah, it was good emphasis.
Yes,
Exactly,
exactly.
yes.
Yeah.
It's not easy to splice in words and cut, well, especially when there's music. 'Cause
Sure.
Then it like cuts and it sounds weird, so I had to grab music from somewhere else and splice it in, so it sounds like it. Anyway.
I didn't
Wow.
notice the music
Well,
spliced
no,
that was
yeah.
good.
So as you guys, read this through, you hear the voice literally in your head as it reads through this note, and as soon as you kind of close it and the sound of the voice stops, the one thing that echoes into your mind is, "I beg you, return home." And now, yes.
My home is a plane of pure lawful neutrality with good tendencies. So if I go back there, things will be perfectly safe for me.
Yeah, why don't we head back there?
No, that would be boring.
Why don't we head back there?
I would rather
Gary,
come
go
to-
ahead and try.
I would rather come to a domain of pure neutral evil.
Exactly. So following the directions in this cryptic message that you received, you follow the road ahead that leads into the forest whence the fog emanates. You don't have a choice. Almost as if the DM is making you railroad into my forest.
I feel compelled to do this.
We're on the Ravenloft Railroad.
It doesn't take long before you are led into the disused trail of overgrown weeds and roots of the spindly trees. A light drizzle begins to fall as you travel. As you approach a wooded crossroads with conveniently 4 roads from the one that you're in, presumably one for each of you, the laden rain makes the cloaked form standing there seem all the more unreal. Dun, dun, dun.
I point at him with my message cantrip, and I say, "Hello."
You hear the sound of a crow.
Hello.
Oh
Stop.
boy.
I'll stop.
Oh my god.
I understand now why the message cantrip was taken.
There are more useful cantrips than that, but it seems thematically essential.
It's relevant. 100% relevant. Okay.
Um,
You got basically a crossroads here. This is the best I could do. I didn't, but there's presumably 4 different paths.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got kind of an area where the crossroads, where you lead here, and then the apex of it is a hooded creature, that cod. And then there's like 4 separate paths
Okay,
that lead from this point.
I approach it and I say hello in common, primordial, and celestial. Katie, could you move me closer to approach it?
this.
Yes. And I innocently introduce myself as Glow and express my desire to make friends.
Friends. We can be friends. But we need your help.
Insight check.
Let's hear it.
19.
Yeah. It seems like the cloaked figure that now as you approach it, you can see a beak kind of poking out of it. and like the cloak is over it. You can clearly see that like it's not like fur or skin, but it's like feathery.
What's it called? Tengu?
Yeah, kenku,
Kenku.
like a kenku.
Tengu
Yeah.
is the Pathfinder knockoff.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay. I hold my hand out to shake his hand.
Like from under its cloak, it's like winged arms come out, and then it brings them back in. So it looks like it's like a half humanoid, half raven.
Okay.
I get it now. I ask him where his loft is, and then I say, "Hail, friend quest giver. How may we help you?"
I will slink off into the underbrush.
Okay, where are you headed?
I will.
Which path?
Off to the
Off the
side
path?
of the road,
Okay.
off the path,
Okay.
just to obscure myself from this figure.
So, I guess before that, you do notice the fog is still there. So you still have fog around you.
So we're lightly obscured.
Yeah.
I will
And it's
try
obviously
make myself-
denser at the bottom where your feet are.
Yeah, I'm going to try and make myself.
So
more
Katie is
obscure.
heavily obscured.
Yes?
All right. Yes.
Just the top of your, like, the hairs that are coming out of your boulder
Yeah.
head.
Perfect.
It's like the three little... What do they call it in anime where you have like a little... and it's like an antenna?
Alfalfa. I don't. I call
It's
it
a trope in anime. It's like it's the character that has like the hair that's down.
Like a
and there's, like,
cowlick?
one little thing that comes up.
Oh, yeah. Like Dragon
I don't
Ball
know the name
Z.
for it.
Yeah,
What's his name?
Exactly.
Yeah, no, this-
It's Goku. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Long
Okay,
ago.
so yeah, you
Okay.
slink off. Why don't you roll me something if you don't mind? Roll me
roll you
a
something.
D100.
Oh, that's different. Okay. 53, right there in the middle.
Right in that meaty part of the curve. Not slipping behind, not showing off.
So you start to like go into your your ranger stuff. Oh, you've got. Do you have the favorite terrain?
Of the mist.
You do.
Yes.
Okay. So that changes things a little bit. So yeah, you like walk into the mist and you guys see the mist envelop him, and then it kind of just like calms down and settles back down. But you're still standing where you did off the path over here.
He knows magic too.
We lost him. Where'd he go?
Okay.
He
Jeremiah, what are you
disappeared into thick air.
Ah, hello, friend. Are you an evil person? Because those are worth 100 gold to us.
Direct approach,
What
I like it.
language are you speaking?
We'll go with undercommon.
Ooh.
Okay. I don't think there's a response
Oh,
in undercommon.
okay.
Okay.
Older gnome?
I'll walk up. I'll
Renwick.
walk up even with glow, and just say, what is it that you require?
So as you approach it, the figure's head is looking down. It snaps up, glaring with piercing yellow eyes. What you took for a cloak spreads around and reveals itself as a mighty pair of black wings. So it was like shrouding itself, and then it opens it up. With one powerful motion, a blast of chill air and the wings sweep, and the vague figure is gone. As mist kind of finishes coalescing in a circle as
Well-
it disappears.
We didn't even learn his name.
I may have scared it off.
He
And
was
as you
probably
see, he's
evil
kind of
worth
raised
100
up here,
gold.
and where he is, you can kind of see, winds swirling and
Okay.
then like something kind of just wrestling as it.
No, I was gonna just slowly approach where he was standing and look at.
Okay. Why don't
he
you
was
roll
standing
me
on.
investigation.
I'm going to knock an arrow.
Okay. Jeremiah, what are you doing?
Oh,
Oh, okay.
go up and
I'll take
look
that.
at
It's a
where he is
modified
also.
20.
Can I assist with the
Yes.
investigation?
Roll with advantage.
I'm sure he's got a better investigation.
Probably.
I got an 18, so
And
19.
19.
Plus whatever you're
what'd you
training.
get?
Modified 20.
Yeah.
Good.
I was talking on top of people.
Both
Sorry.
of you see it, and both of you grab it. So as the wind is kind of coalescing as the swirl of wind coalesces with the fog, you see that there are feathers.
How many? 4?
4 have left, and Renwick and Cole both snag them, and then Glow is like, dang it.
do you think if we take this back to Waterdeep, we can say we killed the evil guy and get 100 gold for the 4 feathers.
See, we appear to be transported to some kind of magical
try to go back
evil domain. I don't think we can get back to Waterdeep.
Are you sure?
Well, yeah. Why don't you go ahead?
I'm making
back where you came from.
I make an Arcana check.
Okay.
I get a 15 plus 5. I get a modified 20.
And what are we checking?
Are we in some sort of extra plane or pocket? Can we go back to Waterdeep?
I don't think you're able to obtain
That might be too much information.
However,
Okay.
you can tell that the atmosphere is completely different than it was before you fell asleep.
Okay.
You can tell that there's some sort of presence in the atmosphere emanating by the fog as well.
Okay. All right.
And then you, Cole, why don't you go ahead and roll me a perception check? Because you wanted to see where you came back from and see if...
Well, I mean, I'm just suggesting we hold on to it, not
I
necessarily
agree.
go back yet. Oh, that was a good perception. 17.
Nice,
All right.
nice. It's almost like you're in the Lost Woods in Zelda. It's like you look back and you see the path there, but as you take a step, it's like it stretches. It's like you're walking. Like if you started to, head back where you came from, it's almost as if you're not making any distance at all.
Okay, I take the feather
Okay.
and I wave it about. Nothing happens.
Seems like a oversized raven feather.
Okay.
If you want, you can add that to your inventory. By this time, Karen and Colt, you guys snag your feathers. And it seems like each one
I
is
didn't go for a feather.
You didn't go for a feather?
I
Okay.
cast light on it and I put it in like my headband thing here, my like hot Greek
Perfect.
heroin headband thing, and then I walked into the mist.
Which way? So there's 4 paths. So you're at like a crossroads.
Oh.
You're in the middle of it. So you can go like left.
Do I have a sense of cardinal directions?
I would say the Arcana check would be sufficient to try to tell that.
Okay.
You can't tell by, doing an Arcana check which is what.
Okay.
If someone want to do a survival check, you
I would
could
like
if you
to
want.
do a survival check to get my bearings.
Yes.
Did you revisibilify yourself?
You step back in onto the trail.
Well,
'Cause
can
there's like
I not determine it from where I'm at in the mist?
Where you're in the mist, it's almost as if like you step down and the mist kind of raised for you.
Uh-huh.
It's a little weird feeling, but it's almost as if you're the mist is trying to take you, but you're able to stave it off because of your background. But you're like it's like you're in water, kind of, and it's like open your eyes in water and it's kind of hazy. And you can't really see where you're
Okay,
at.
I'll go back onto the trail and do my check, and
Okay.
I get a total of 22.
It seems like the most left trail is beckoning you. So it would be leading this way. If you'd like to go that way.
What do you think, friend Kieran? Which way should we go?
I don't know which way you should go. I feel like I should go this way.
Okay, well, let's stick together. You seem a trustworthy fellow.
You don't.
That's because I'm a girl, so I hope I don't seem like a fellow of any kind. Checkmate.
I mean, I guess if you want to follow me.
Renok, how do you respond?
If
If you want, you can do survival check.
we've only just met all of these people, but it does seem kind of unwise to go alone.
It is dangerous to go alone.
Yes, I knew.
Diddle-a-diddle-a-diddle-a-dee.
I was waiting for that. All right, survival check. I rolled a 16.
You feel like the rightmost path
Ooh.
is
Well-
more alluring to you.
You know,
over here.
I've
This way.
It feels like something's pulling us to split the party. That seems
That could be a good
Interesting.
idea.
all right.
Do I get to survival?
Sure, if you want to.
Let's see. 8.
That's terrible.
You got no idea. For you, you're like, I don't even care. I just want my 100 gold per head. I mean, I've got a feather to prove it. Where's the Lord's Alliance?
We got 4 feathers. They clearly came from 4 different raven men. 4 very evil raven men.
Carbon dating doesn't exist at this point, so
Perfect.
We're safe.
Nor DNA testing.
yeah.
Glow, what do you do?
Okay, I will take the feather that I've cast light on and I'll throw it up in the air and see like which way it points when it lands.
Okay. Why don't you roll me a
D4?
D4?
Yep. Okay, here we go. I roll a 2. So I go through whichever one is 2.
The right.
I take that
This
one.
way.
I take that one.
Okay. All right. So I guess. Hey, Kieran, you're first. D100. And then Renwick, and then Glow, and then Cole. You tell me what you want to do.
Oh, I will join Kieran. He said I could go with him.
Okay.
I roll an
Roll
84.
84. Yeah, it's like for you, it's odd. It's a weird feeling, but you feel like this. It's like a gauge of the mist, right? It's like a temperature in water. You can tell when the water's cold, when it's hot. When you're in the mist, you can kind of tell that like when it's hot, it's like something that I can't really withstand, right? And so you're walking into the mist this way, and it's like an overwhelming feeling of heat or this thickness in the fog, and you end up walking and appearing from the south area where you came from. Katie, what did you roll?
50.
A 50. Okay. Your character right here, you appear coming from this side.
Oh,
Okay.
hello.
Solid.
This side from where you came from. Cole,
Okay.
and then Glow. Sorry.
Sorry, I preempted.
75.
Oh, you disappear.
Oh my goodness.
To you all you see is fog.
Hello.
Glow. You're
45.
45. You guys are all the same.
You want me to re-roll?
You're right behind. Like you're walking and you're like, I swear, the gnome was behind me. I heard his steps, her steps, and then you kind of like look up because you're kind of focusing on your feet, and you see Kieran. You see his tail just kind of like as you follow right behind.
Do I notice him or her?
Yeah, I think you would be able to
Okay.
pass
I
that.
thought you didn't want to go my way.
Even if I stealth, I get a 6 because I have janky armor that makes that noise.
Can I see them?
You can see them, yeah. You guys
Okay,
both,
so, like-
at the same time, just like that was odd.
This is for sure the same place. Like it didn't just
It's
take
for
us to
sure
a
the same
replica or
place.
something.
You
Okay.
didn't grab your feather, did you?
I did not.
No, I
You did not.
Yeah, the three of us.
So
have
you
a feather.
see the feather still on the floor that presumably he did.
Okay.
So that's what tells
Oh,
you.
okay.
You're
So
still
that we're still in the same
mist.
place.
You're just
But I have my
Okay.
feather, my 100 gold feather.
you still have your 100 gold feather.
Okay, as
So
long
for
as
you-
we've established that.
For you, Cole, it's like it's been a while now. You're like really nervous. You're like, I feel like I've been going for like an hour, and you're just
Where did-
mist. And there's no shapes, and you're just like, what is happening?
Kieran went this way. I'll run into him eventually.
Oh dear. Where did our-
The rest of the group, why don't you roll me a perception check?
Where'd our human friend go? You're human, right?
Human, yes.
Human. That's a 25.
Okay.
14.
Jerry? 12?
19.
Very good. All right. So as you guys, are kind of milling about, a little awkward, you're like, that was kind of weird. You notice that the rain that was a drizzle is now a rainstorm. You can hear, thundering in the distance. And however, you see up above in the air, like a parting of the clouds. The clouds kind of part for a bit, and the sky is exposed a little bit.
Mhm.
And it's as if the rain is actually parting the mist as well. In front of you, the mist. Well, I guess this diagonal right from you guys
So
opens up.
I interpret this as a sign from the Storm Kings I've spent serving my whole life, helping me on my quest to find my once true love. So I unthinkingly go down the path.
Okay.
Oh,
I
where
would
are you
like
going?
to
Okay.
check and see if, my knowledge of nature, see if this seems appropriate.
Yeah, survival would be fitting.
Survival? Okay. That is an 18.
Yeah, I mean, your senses are leading you. Something. There's when it comes to the mist, you kind of rely on smell, I guess. and it smells less misty. Gradually, the haze and brush gives away, revealing a bald hilltop. There stands a grim black tower, the last defiant turret of a long, crumbled fortress. Attached to the tower is a 3-story manor house, weather-beaten and veined with ivy. A porch girds the house. Its sagging roof shelters the stout front door that stands open and emits a flickering light. What fate befalls our adventurers? The ASMR cleric warlock, our boulder gnome cleric, our tabaxi ranger, and human rogue. Will all the party members seemingly befriend each other? Will they ever see their friend Cole again? What is this mysterious manor, shrouded in darkness, and in the rain upon that hill? What peril awaits?
Quest with us, where adventure abounds. You're listening to Van Richten's Guide to A Curse of Strahd. Next time in the Fates Forge.